Hey, Cross Park. Happy New Year to you. Welcome back from the holidays. Hope this video finds you having gotten some rest, some good family time, and happy to be heading into this new year. Couple of quick announcements. Just remember we're meeting this Sunday, winter schedule, 10:30 a.m. Check your email to see if we'll be inside or outside. Our weather has been and is looking to be rather cold and bleak, and so inside is a likely option, but again, we will confirm that each Saturday via email. Also wanted to let you know that on January 12th, after the service, we're planning to have a congregational conversation. This is not a congregational meeting in the sense that there's nothing to vote on, but we want to give you some updates on location, building stuff. We don't have brand new information, just want to let you know there's not some big thing that has happened that we're about to tell you. We don't want you to get your hopes up in the wrong way for that. But we have had lots of conversation, lots of prayer, lots of meeting time, thinking through and praying through some next steps. And so we just want to have that conversation with you as a congregation, share some updated thoughts, and give an opportunity for you to engage and ask questions. So that's going to be January 12th, right after our Sunday morning service. Well, we are in the new year, and as I have been thinking about the new year, and even particularly with our housing, location stuff, and the weather, I've been reading various things, different people's comments on the new year. Many of you know I'm a fan of Malcolm Guite, who's a poet, and I've been reading his blog here throughout the holidays. And both Guite and several other people I've seen have mentioned some common New Year's poems. And so I wanted to read one to you by Thomas Hardy, no relation as far as I know. But it's a rather bleak poem until the end, so I want you to properly feel the bleakness, as life so often causes us to feel bleak, and yet to catch the note of hope at the end, and to think, as we're heading into Romans 8 here over the next several weeks, we're going to spend several weeks in Romans 8, thinking about true hope in the midst of our bleakness, in the midst of the groaning, in the midst of our sin and our inability to fix our situation. There is real hope. So I don't know Thomas Hardy's worldview or how much his hope was in Jesus Christ or not, but the poem subtly points us in that direction. So just let me read this for you as a New Year's meditation. It's called The Darkling Thrush. I leant upon a coppice gate when frost was spectre gray, and winter's dregs made desolate the weakening eye of day. The tangled vine stems scored the sky like strings of broken lyres, and all mankind that haunted nigh had sought their household fires. The land's sharp features seemed to be the century's corpse outlent, his crypt the cloudy canopy, the wind his death lament. The ancient pulse of germ and birth was shrunken hard and dry, and every spirit upon earth seemed fervorless as I. At once a voice arose among the bleak twigs overhead in a full-hearted evensong of joy ill-limited. An aged thrush, frail, gaunt, and small, in blast-beruffled plume, had chosen thus to fling his soul upon the growing gloom. So little cause for carolings of such ecstatic sound was written on terrestrial things, afar or nigh around, that I could think there trembled through his happy good-night air some blessed hope whereof he knew and I was unaware. As we look at our circumstances, as we live life in a fallen, sinful world, we often struggle to locate hope. We know it's in Jesus. If you're a Christian, you know your hope is in Jesus. And yet it may be very difficult to figure out how to connect your heart to that hope and how to let that long-term hope, which is real and sure, connect with your medium and short-term realities. So this poem is a lovely meditation on how, despite everything seeming bleak and dim, fervorless, lifeless, oftentimes in winter, right, we are affected deeply by what's going on around us, that sometimes winter can often feel like a metaphor for other things going on in our hearts, and yet there in the midst of winter, he hears this old thrush sing out a song of joy ill-limited, unlimited. And it speaks of hope. That perhaps this bird knows something that we have forgotten or that we can't connect with today. That there is hope. And even though I may, in my moment, in my senses and my observational abilities, even though I may be unable to connect with that hope, the hope is there. And sometimes in God's providence, he uses even an old bird or a short comment or some situation in our circumstances providentially to show us that there is hope and to quietly and subtly cast our heart back towards the hope that's found in Christ. So, a little New Year's meditation for you from Thomas Hardy and Jeff Hardy. Hope it does some good for your soul today. We'll see you Sunday morning at 10:30. Thanks, Cross Park.